Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We got to see the first game of 100 Thieves Challengers domination up against Golden Guardians, and we'll have to see if they can run it back here in this game. And this was a really fun game to watch overall, Deserex. I mean, this is Sniper's debut. We got to see him playing with Viper. Kino was also just cracked. Like, this was just overall a great time.
This was a great time. Sniper was telling me he feels very confident with the teammates that he has, both in Yukino and Pretty, and it's showing. I was surprised. I asked him a lot about the team, and he said he doesn't know how to feel because of the substitutes just yet. Well, even the substitutes are shining. This whole thing that 100 Thieves have brought today, it's succeeding well.
It really is, Cubby. I mean, you really couldn't ask for more when you have two subs on your side.
I mean, it is game one. We saw an upset in game two in the series earlier today. Not to spoil too much if you missed TL versus Fear, but everything that could have gone well for 100 Thieves did so very early on in that game, and they were able to snowball it through. So, honestly, at this upcoming game, I'm really curious if they actually keep that handshake for the first three. I know that Wukong is still a champion that feels really strong at level 9 in that mid game. It's been interesting, though, seeing him in the meta, as it feels like his global win rate has actually been really low. Like, he has a huge presence, but I think his win rate right now is sitting around like 20-25% in the major 4 regions. So I'm curious if we keep on seeing Wukong, or if we start seeing some swaps off of it into different junglers that we have in the patch.
Well, we'll see what comes out on Golden Guardians' end as well, because the pretty strong game coming out from 100 Thieves, so I'd like to see some adaptations. Hopefully, maybe we can see them as early on in the draft, which is time for us. So I will see you two later. Have fun.
All right, we shall. Game number 2, 100 Thieves versus Golden Guardians. What do you want different out of Golden Guardians this time, Cubby? Because it felt like there was no real first foot that came on the map from GG.
I mean, I actually did like the idea to snowball mid with the Akali. I just think that when you have a Zeri Yuumi, you need to play through that lane. If Zeri gets going, that's enough damage for your entire team. If Zeri does not get going, then she can be locked down rather easily by a Vi, and that's tough. Also, maybe a Sivir. That might have been a nice adaptation there, given the Vi was showing. Sivir can deal with Vi a little bit better, even with a short range. So, a couple ideas that GG could take, but one thing they are doing for sure, a side swap. So maybe we see a Lucian ban or see that handshake taken away now by 100 Thieves.
I would like to see a little bit more out of Rosethorn when it comes to Golden Guardians, because Rosethorn, we saw last split back in Proving Ground Summer at the start of the Season 4 CLG, played very, very early towards the game and had a team that was playing towards Rosethorn as well. And that's when we saw Rosethorn look fantastic. Also kind of just looked like a Viego one trick at a certain point, from how much that champion was played, but already starting off well with this first pick. It's going to be a Maokai, Cubby.
Oh boy. All right. Well, Maokai came through. That's big for Golden Guardians. Again, I don't think you should let this champion through in this patch or in this meta. I think he's way too strong. So with that said, there are trades up. You can take the Yuumi now if you are 100 Thieves. You could build a Yuumi comp. I also like the Vi. This is a match that we've seen with the Maokai. It gives both junglers point and click CC. But Vi actually can brawl Maokai early if you do connect that Vault Breaker.
And Yukino looked great in the last game on the Vi, so excited to see more of it, as our junglers are going to be the first two things that do get locked in for these rosters. 100 Thieves, they're going to throw it back one more time with that Syndra. Pretty. Nothing to scoff at when you saw Pretty on that Syndra.
Wow, so early priority. Now, we'll see if Golden Guardians wants to take the Yuumi. Again, it is into Vi. Difficult to play Yuumi into Vi, but that's still a very powerful champion. And with the Maokai, that's a decent carrier that you have to try and pressure the map. But I think Golden Guardians, it's a little bit of decision time right now. Do they want to try and attack mid? You see the mid-jungle duo showing. You have a jungler yourself. Is it time to attack mid, or are we going to take our bot lane and make sure that we're real solid here as that Zeri is taken? And it looks like that might be the approach from Array and Golden Guardians.
Throwing it over to the Zeri. Array will be playing that one. You do have some protection now. Now that you have the Maokai, you do have some engage on top of that with the Maokai. Thing is, I do like the pick once again coming out from 100 Thieves. I mean, having the Vi as well as the Syndra, good combo. Golden Guardians, they're going to stick with what they had in the last game as they pair this Yuumi with the Zeri.
What I'm really curious for now is, does Young maybe go for an AD option mid? Yuumi, Maokai, that's actually enough magic damage to just have for your team. So this could potentially open up the champ pool a little bit for Young, who is very good on the bruisers, as we have a marksman locked in for 100 Thieves Challengers. Interesting look, Desirux. I haven't seen a lot of Kaisa, but that appears to be what Viper is going to be comfortable with into the Zeri.
Yeah, this Kaisa, it does get that backline dive that we can use in conjunction with Yukino being on this Vi, but an interesting response to come out of 100 Thieves Challengers nonetheless as we head into the second phase of the draft.
Now, we do have a support missing here for 100 Thieves Challengers, and I gotta say, we've seen a lot of Lulu handshakes in a Yumi. Kaisa is not something you're looking to pair up with Lulu. This is all about getting a support that can help you get those passive procs on the Kaisa. Make sure you can cast your ult or stack up that passive to do the big damage earlier in the game. So I'm curious to see if that is the case. Also, I would be amiss if I didn't bring up, we haven't seen Vi's support yet on this patch or meta, but it was something that we were seeing at this level of play from a couple teams last year in summer. So maybe there's an opportunity that 100 Thieves do something real weird here. Not expecting that, but you never know.
Well, Light Pulse has shown a very incredibly diverse champion pool. Just in the LA Comic-Con alone, there were 8 unique champions in 11 games. Does have a preference, at least a little bit more, towards the Rakan and Leona from previous history in 2021, but...
We could see Blitz. He has played Blitz in the past. It's something where, again, you can execute. Not going to be the case, though. It is kind of hard against Seri, so Amumu it is.
I was getting excited for a second. I would have liked to see the Blitz. But yeah, Amumu locked in will give some aggression really dialed down to this bottom lane alongside the Kaisa. I remember the OG combo was Kaisa-Alistair we used to see.
Leona as well. A very strong one, but changes to numbers often throughout history. You know, changes things up as we are going to take our solo laners here. We're Golden Guardians. It will be a Renekton. And curiously enough, a Silas actually coming out here for Young. So that is a matchup where you can pressure the Syndra. And I'm curious again now if we see Rosethorn really take a lot of time to try and go mid, try and pressure Syndra with the Silas. As I'm expecting a Jace here from Sniper.
And waiting for the hover. 5 seconds still left on the clock if he wants to take that Jace on the challenge.
Oh, no.
But no, he's going for neither of them, Cubby. Bonk is back once again. We had Legend of the Bonk last split. I guess we're going to have it now with Sniper.
I gotta say, it does open up that split push opportunity again, and I'm really curious if Yukino will path towards the top side for this match. So that's something that Sniper was really able to do and set up really well in the last game. Some different scenarios, though, this time around that could prevent that, as Maokai plus Renekton is a deadly combo. And as I said in the last draft, when you have Zeri Yumi, I really do believe that you should play towards that. But Golden Guardians does have an option. If they want to stop a Sniper from running the same plan he did in the last game, they have the tools to do so.
And you know what? Golden Guardians have some decent agency within the team fight itself, just from the Maokai alone. And that plays well to Array, who has historically been one of those positional team fighters. Not typically the best laner, but when you put him in a team fight and he can position well, he will bring in that damage for the squad.
I really usually don't like to compare players to other players that we have or have had in Academy, but it feels like Array and Spawn, a very similar archetype of marksman in terms of just their strengths coming up through the system and where they're at now. Array is just a little bit behind Spawn. I'm really curious to see how Array does improve, because as you mentioned, I feel like lane is where he needs to work on. Prismal is going to be a really good support, though, to try and be lane focused, given that he was a marksman in the past and has mechanically strong as well. We'll see if Array can excel a little bit more in his second split of semi-pro.
We'll need to against Viper and Light Pulse as we head into game number 2. 100 Thieves now at match point. Take a look at some of those tweets coming out. 100 Thieves Challengers maybe pile driving living hell out of Golden Guardians Challengers, but I swear they are not a bad team, Cubby.
I actually feel like pile driving is a good way to describe Vialt. I could kind of see that.
Yes.
You know? That's well done. I been brushing up my wrestling terms, to work with Desirux, but I feel like pile driving is the right one.
We were trying to figure out names for Vial.
Yeah, we're gonna say that combo though. We had a specific combo we're looking for a name for. I'm excited. I'm using that one at least once. You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm not going to mention it. Don't worry. In the future, it works.
We had to prep at least some content, some surprises for you guys in the off season. Yeah,
and it's just memes. All it comes down to. You saw the King Man. You saw the King Man intro. You were actually the least memey in that video, Cubby.
Maybe by that judgment, I was the most memey. Who knows? With that said, Young dropping a ward on the Raptors for Vi, so trying to do some tracking, and we do have each jungler actually working up towards the top side this time around, with Maokai having the option, of course, to go bot after he wraps up the red buff. But nice bandage toss from Lightpulse, so we trade somewhat evenly early.
So, what do you want to see early out of Golden Guardians to try and get a bounce back like we did with Fear earlier?
I think pathing towards this Renekton helps, because again, Sniper can't do the same thing they did in the last game. And Concept's handling it a little bit better this time around. As he hasn't given Sniper that super lethal tempo trade that he was able to get in the last time, as Prismal just danced around that minion to get a little bit of damage on the Light Pulse. I think it is, though, kind of making sure that this Renekton a little bit more capable on the top side. And after that, trying to get the Zeri Yuumi ahead. Because again, it's a duo that scales, but I feel like with Zeri, you really need to get her ahead of the item curve. That's where she's at her best, because all the damage that she can do, especially over time. If she gets behind, it's very easy to just make sure that she's never able to do anything, especially with the comp that 100 Thieves has.
Hard to do something when Sniper just keeps hopping over here. Pathing over into the top end will be Rosethorn. So, can have some opportunity to try and mess around with this lane situation going on for Concept as Sniper continues with this heavy push.
You can see Yukino skipping over camps to try and get out on the map early, but instead of looking top, actually looking mid. If Young does E in, would open up an opportunity for him and Pretty to follow up, as this is a matchup where Silas does get put under tower, but Silas does have access to some pretty good ultimates this game. Curse of the Sad Mummy is going to be a big one for him.
Kino and Pretty both roaming up on the top side. Concept might be in trouble. Not too far off is Rosethorn, but Rosethorn isn't that healthy considering you're farming your own jungle. Might walk into this bush and see something you're not looking forward to. Flash instantly burn out from Rosethorn.
So it's a little bit awkward from Golden Guardians, but they get the job done in the sense that Concept is not dove this time around. That is very important for how this lane is going to play out in the long haul. As you can see, Sniper actually is down a couple creeps because he was really trying to make sure that wave crashed on time for both Pretty and Yukino to join him. Rosethorn hovering, though. A little bit of safety. It does open up a trade in the bot side here for Viper and Lightpulse.
And when Lightpulse goes in with that bandage toss, you really gotta mean it. It's a one-way trip. And that damage that can come out from both Prismal and Array, you're gonna get healing from the Yuumi on top of it. So, gotta be big meaning here. And the big meanings, we're gonna have a big tree showing up in the bottom lane at the same time that Yukino's looking for the play. Coming through will be Rosethorn. Focus onto Lightpulse, but Yukino rings right through with the haymaker to the face of Golden Guardians. Looking for more. A double kill picked up by Viper on this Kaisa. Rosethorn, twisted advance, able to find Viper, but there is Young to try and return the kill. Doesn't want to give it over to Young, but there's no choice when you're this far from home.
So that wave state, the idea for Golden Guardians is that they were trying to crash the wave bot. So Rosethorn skipping over camps to show up there. If they get a kill, they would have been able to punish the bot lane 100 Thieves Challengers extraordinarily. As that was broken by Yukino, who made a great play on the bot half, not only to skip over his own camps to match, but also finding Yuumi to make sure they got that kill. And we're almost able to take that 3v3 if it wasn't for the intervention of Young.
That play's working out. Once again, in the bottom side, Cubby, you were questioning a bit onto this Kaisa, this play with jungler intervention. I mean, Viper, now it's a Kaisa that's going to have 2 kills, courtesy of this game coming out from Yukino.
And I love that flash from Yukino, just realizing, hey, Yuumi, 5 seconds till she gets on the back. We can take her down, and we win this 3v3 hard if we do. It really only is Young showing up that makes this an even trade, but still, Pretty crashes in a wave. Overall, it's a big win for 100 Thieves Challengers, and I love to see them making these proactive plays. And Yukino having the knowledge to be like, hey, this is a bait from Prismal. If I'm here to match this, we win, given the fact we have Kaisa and Amumu now. Really, really well done again from a very young jungler.
That sets the map into a different state. Sending Yukino over towards his top side. Both junglers will be pathing up there. Cubby, you were mentioning earlier that it should be a Renekton focus coming out soon from Concept. Now, both junglers head into that direction. Is this still going to be the play, Cubby?
You can already see the intervention that Rosethorn had in this matchup. Concept set up for way more success this time around. He got a much better base, and he TP'd back afterwards to make sure that he had the item advantage into Sniper and can bully him. As you can see, that CS differential, this is a matchup that Jax will scale into, but of course the strength of Renekton lies in the early game, and Concept making much better use of it this time around.
The old days of League of Legends, whenever I'd play top and play into play Renekton, I would always tell my jungler, wait for my power spike, man. When is it? When is it? Level 3. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I get all my skills, and then we'll take him down.
Renekton's a caster, baby. I am interested. I think that Spirit Sojin is really close to being good on Renekton again. And that makes him an incredibly oppressive champion, even because it gives him scaling in the later stages, too.
Could use that against Sniper. Please, bring it into the meta. Bring it back. No Concept, you don't care about the meta. What are we talking about?
Curious interaction here as Young's just trying to get Pretty to use Scatter of the Week, and that's when Rosethorn can go. But not going to be the case, as Pretty staying disciplined. Rosethorn does give up bases. He has bot camps coming up, and we are 30 seconds away from this Rift Herald Deserex. I'm really curious to see if either of our teams decide to rotate. Light Pulse is a little far away from level 6. It would be a very important one to hit for a Herald fight. But also allow Young to have Curse the Sad Mummy advantage right now, if they did decide to fight it. Silas ult, man, goes pretty hard.
And it feels even worse when Silas is using your ult and you can't even use your ult. You're under the level for it. That
sucks.
Terrible situation. This is
Yukino's trying to get 6 right here off this brush. He's a couple creeps away. Yeah, he's able to net it. But you can see Rosethorn rotating up with Prismal. I like this setup a lot right now for Golden Guardians. I feel like Light Pulse being level 4, it means that GG has a big advantage.
You know, Light Pulse Pretty, sweeping away, making sure there's no vision afforded over to Golden Guardians. Golden Guardians do have the saplings, however, to get some scouting out. Rosethorn placing a few of those, but really biding his time here, being careful. You don't want to get caught on the pinch like we saw in Game 1.
And again, Maokai, once he gets space, it is so difficult to take it back given the saplings that are empowered in the brush. So with Renekton and the strength of Maokai, I gotta believe that 100 Thieves doesn't want to team fight this. You would think that a Mumu Kaisa, you know, this is an okay time for them to fight, but Kaisa scales hard. You're fighting into a Renekton, a Silas would have Curse the Sad Mummy, and like 100 Thieves, respecting that power and opting to give this one away.
We'll give it up, but we'll immediately take the consolation prize. A flip of the situations we had in game number 1. This time it's 100 Thieves taking the Drake. Will not play to that fight earlier, giving a lot of respect to the team fight that you get from that Maokai and the early game you get from the Renekton.
I don't think Pretty has the mana to support an invade in the bot side, so we won't see 100 Thieves answer with, trying to catch a Ray or Prismal off guard and their rotation back bottom, but the fact they get a Dragon and a 3 base for Viper, again, consolation prize, but not all bad. This Golden Guardians, with this Renekton, with this Maokai, will be hitting very hard at the earlier stages. 100 Thieves have some scaling in the center and the Jax, especially in the side lane for Jax later. Should be able to win both matchups. We'll see if 100 Thieves can get there.
Working their way there, clawing their way there. Slower game than we've had in the last couple, at least.
Very slow. But, hey, at least our Challengers teams are respecting each other early in the season. You know, I like not taking that Rift Herald fight.
Say respecting each other, but this is the first time we've seen Sniper at least give some sort of respect back to Concept.
He kind of has to. And at the moment, Concept was forced to base before he has this TP up, so now Sniper's pushing the wave. He's going to change his mind. Concept getting close to having that TP back available to him. Going to play a little bit of a mind game there. Sniper with the item advantage has been able to at least get back into this lane.
CSing well. Slowly coming back. Scaling of that Jax that will be online and will be such a side lane threat earlier. And it's a bigger thing compounded alongside with 100 Thieves, because if you play to the side lanes and try and match Sniper, that means you're always running a risk of being at threat of Yukino. However, Rosethorn focusing into the bot lane. They are going to get a chain of CC. The gank's going to work out as they focus on the Light Pulse, or will it? Hill gets burned, so does the Flash, and Light Pulse will survive.
Not bad here from the sub-squad for 100 Thieves Challengers, as the power of Maokai, your ability to gank from the river from such long range, that's tough to get around. And it was a lot of summoner spells burned from 100 Thieves Challengers, to be exact, all of them. But they at least are able to keep their bot lane there, pick up these waves, and make sure that Viper Light Pulse don't fall crucially far behind. Really well done.
Well done indeed for this bot lane. They weathered the storm, and now they will be able to get that recall and reset without losing anyone else. Sniper fighting it out over in the top side with Concept. Needs one more auto! Sniper,
Oh, no.
1v1 once again.
I think Concept was trying to flash away to buy time to get that W cooldown back, but was not able to connect it. Did have Rosethorn coming, but Sniper takes down the Croc again in this game before he can have help. That's going to be plates going over to Sniper. Well played. Young Prodigy making a good debut.
Making a great debut, cashing in on those plates. And look at the gold. So much work put in topside by Concept, and now equalized 300 gold lead for Sniper.
And that's big. Again, like the team fight from Golden Guardians with this Silas, with that Yuumi Zeri, it's very scary. 100 Thieves has to be very select about who they go on and how they play the fights. But in the side lane, no one's going to be able to touch Jax. So when Jax gets ahead, that's going to be a nice backdoor win con here for 100 Thieves Challengers. I think it's really important that Jax is getting ahead. And so, well done by Sniper, really making that one happen on his own in his debut.
100 Thieves setting up in the jungle right now. They're looking at Young. Pretty's in position. Scout of the Week goes out. Bandage toss. So much crowd control. Couldn't move for a second. Couldn't play League of Legends, Cubby.
I love 100 Thieves. Again, the sub-squad, they had priority bot. They were able to get that base in after they deterred the dive. They do drop that wave, but they get something for it. Taking down Young in the mid lane, it's going to give Pretty a plate, a free reset, and the potential for 100 Thieves to maybe play around this dragon.
Golden Guardians focusing onto the bot lane.
Oh, hang on.
Will place down the Rift Herald, and now going for the play. Array leading the charge onto Viper. Viper critically low. The shutdown found by Golden Guardians.
Yeah, you can't approach this area Yuumi brush. Viper in that roll swap to sub for this one. Takes a step too far up. It gets taken down, and any plans for Dragon look to be going to the wayside now as Golden Guardians. They crack first brick for that Zerayumi. We talked about the importance of getting this pick ahead. Gotta believe that there's a shield bow in base for Array. Very important for Zeri at this stage of the game.
Catching out Viper, you have a point to play for Golden Guardians. It didn't work out that well topside with Concept, so they'll play towards the Zeri. And speaking of Concept, in a world of hurt, falling to just about 500 health, the threat of Sniper must be felt.
He doesn't have that. Oh, hold on. Pretty.
Almost going to go down there.
Hero
Caught out, but Rosethorn couldn't get close enough.
There is no TP for Concept on the top side, so I mean the saving grace for 100 Thieves really is the fact that Sniper's head trying to hit this turret, but Sniper overextending on the side lane. Array has items that will get the flash.
Instant flash out of Sniper. Not going to risk giving another kill over to Array. Said does have items. Positive scoreline so far, 2-1-0. This bot lane, the Zeri-Yuumi combo, it's finally starting to do some work for Golden Guardians.
And you can see Golden Guardians are still prioritizing gold on the Yuumi. Or this area, I should say, sending them to the other lane while Sniper was still hitting. I think 100 Thieves were expecting Golden Guardians to play for the Dragon, but by sending Array and Prismal top, they actually catch 100 Thieves a bit off guard. They don't have their duo up here to defend this, so Array is able to get the flash out of Sniper and a free turret for himself. That's more gold on the Zeri, which Golden Guardians loves.
I want to take a look at the gold in a second just to compare how much Array has been picking up over the last couple of minutes, because it was a tower in the bottom lane, it was a tower over on the top side as well. That's a big cash-in coming out for Array, and Array is going to use a lot of that gold netted to try and contest over here with 100 Thieves.
And because of how this game's been going, this is going to start to become a game where it's can we kill Array? And how fast can... Oh, never mind. It's can we kill the Croc?
Oh, they're going after it once again. Gator Boot's going to be acquired, but there's the Curse of the Sad Mummy out of Young. So much damage coming out from Young. Turns this fight on its side for 100 Thieves, and Golden Guardians receiving the double kill thanks to Young's big play.
Bit of the power of the Silas taking that Curse of the Sad Mummy as Young sees the one from Lightbolt, says, I can do that a bit better. Gets in the middle of everyone, and what a combo from him is that Everfrost enabled the double Q in the back half. Young shredded that fight and made sure it was a win for Golden Guardians after 100 Thieves got the first pick.
Yeah, and someone who's completely new to the semi-pro system, Nerves not getting the best, does get in the middle of everyone from 100 Thieves. All started with this play, this engage that was focused on the Concept initially.
Look at Young. I just love the full commit. He knew that he had backup. Array and Prismal were in. Young shredding the fight on Silas again. Said this guy was a really good assassin player, good melee player. Young showing that off early. And against an org that he used to play for, 2021, he was the mid laner, 400 next. So Young, I mean, one of the mid laners that has been really dancing around the outside of the system, but hasn't really gotten his shot. The expansion and good play from Young in tryouts in the back half of last year, that's netted him a shot, one that's much deserved, and Young's making the most of it in this game too.
The next generation of talent looking fine on the NACL. 2 minutes, 40 seconds before the Dragon does spawn. Early priority coming out here for Golden Guardians. They're starting to feel themselves right now with a lot of these team fight advantages they're getting. Sniper will try and turn that over on top side, going on to Young, gets the Goomba Stomp, but there it is, will find the snare. Still going for it's going to be Sniper though, and gotta be careful, there is a tower available. Concept, however, getting chunked over in the Dragon Pit.
And they're going to pinch now as Sniper, he's collapsing up. Young's low, he can't really help.
Ooh, Rosethorn flash away. Will get out from the grasp of 100 Thieves 2 minutes before Dragon spawns, so 100 Thieves can't really waste too much time into this vicinity. Will take the back off.
I mean, it is still freebies and free gold going back over to 100 Thieves Challengers, something that they really need as they are down 3k gold. But Yukino, again, the focus on this Renekton, who did rush that boy to the Ruin King, so, you know, has sustainability in the side lane, but it's a bit squishier now. 100 Thieves, they didn't even care about the Zeri. Array's been so fed, but their focus has just been on Renekton. Like, let's take the gold, let's get the kills, just snowball from there. It didn't pay off the first time, but that time around, when Silas wasn't there with Curse the Sad Mummy, it did. Nice adaptation from 100 Thieves to find something for themselves.
That's the thing. Array did well. Array got money. Concept did not. Things started to swing over there in that top side, so they're exploiting that exact lane. I mean, it's Blade of the Rune King picked up by Concept early. Doesn't have too much in tanky stats, so the collapse coming out from 100 Thieves, it's finding its mark, and it's finding it so well.
And now we're just going to have to see if they can net this Dragon. As we're 1 minute away, Soul Point for 100 Thieves would be nice. Infernal Dragon, preventing more damage going over to the side of Golden Guardians, which has plenty of damage packed in. Also nice. But 100 Thieves with the setup, they're going to have to rely on Sniper still breaking things open from the side lane. So 100 Thieves, they can give up these Dragons if they would like to buy time for Sniper to be in this 1v1 that he smashes. And Sniper's just going to go for it, and he's dead.
Just demolished that turret and demolished Concept to follow.
You would really think, watching this matchup, these two games, that Sniper is the returner and Concept is the one debuting. But no, this is the power, the hype behind Sniper. He's been doing damn well in both these games on the Jax, and now with Concept off the map, there's an empowered TP for 100 Thieves. So they can play this Dragon because of the advantage they have from the side lanes. Again, this is textbook play, I believe, for 100 Thieves Challengers, really playing towards their primary win con in Jax.
Yukino getting aggressed on, but it doesn't really matter when Concept's still down. 2 seconds left. Concept being up means that teleport now going to be on the map. You will have your top laner if Golden Guardians want to go for the contest, and I think they do. Young does have Curse of the Sad Mummy stolen away.
Yeah, that's a big one for Golden Guardians, and honestly one that might deter 100 Thieves enough just to give this Dragon up. As, yeah, they see the Amumuar on Silas, they're like, all right, once was enough. Sniper TP top lane. They're going to try and get the waves in and take this mid-outer.
So not contesting the Drake. Smart about that one. Saw the play earlier. Young, Curse of the Sad Mummy, got it right on the money. Now Yukino taking an interesting route here. So is Pretty. Here comes Concept, trying to aggress onto Pretty. Pretty going down to half health. Teamfight waiting to be met, but Rosethorn will not land the ultimate. Here comes Young, though. Curse of the Sad Mummy. You got to get it in the right choke point. Young's looking to go in. Lands it onto 3. Snaring up the Thieves and sending them to the respawn. Now Array will bring the pain, will bring the autos onto Yukino, onto Sniper. The turn back pushed away by Rosethorn. Golden Guardians get a big teamfight win and a triple kill for Array.
Array got all the gold, but Young, he's the playmaker on the Silas, and with the Curse of the Sad Mummy ult, that's why he slammed Silas. He saw the Amumu, said, all right, if I can take this R against this team, there's no way we can lose a team fight with Zeri. Golden Guardians force the issue by burning the TPs, and Young plays that wonderfully. He goes down for the good of the team, but that's all Golden Guardians needed, baby.
I said 27 wins, Cubby. 27 wins out of 30.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating right now. It appears that no one is safe. Team Liquid on the first series of the day lose to Fear in game number 2. And in game number 2, Golden Guardians, the revitalization, the restructuring, it's taken it to 100 Thieves.
Again, Prismal said he felt very confident and comfortable with this roster. And I love this call being made by Golden Guardians because they understand the situation. When we have them, there is no way we can lose a fight if we group up. We have Zeri ahead. We have a Yuumi. Concept just plays for a chunk and plays to cradle 100 Thieves into this group, and then watch how Young makes this one pay off. Just trying to scout, trying to get a feel. They don't have vision right now. He's spotted by 100 Thieves. Nothing that they can do. No way they can react fast enough as he burns all of his cooldowns, holds them all in place, and they burn everything on him, so then Ray just gets to run free. Really well done by Young.
Wow. I don't know if you saw the back end of that, Cubby. Viper was able to get a killer instinct over the wall to get away from Concept. Took him down and still survived. So even in a play that worked out so well for Golden Guardians, there's still these silver linings picked up by a lot of this mechanical play of 100 Thieves.
Viper may have never played a game of marksman competitively outside of some T1 money matches, but it's always been a secondary role, and he's always played a lot of marksman in the top lane and in solo queue as well. Good to see that pay off here as Rosethorn, he's caught and he's dead.
Yeah, instant engage. It will be found. Down a member will be Rosethorn. Nothing too big on the map for 100 Thieves to play to. They'll continue with that side lane pressure.
Yeah, that's a bummer, though, to see as Rosethorn just not synced up with his bot or support mid. Couldn't lend him any support. So walking up, giving a freebie over to 100 Thieves. Again, good play by Yukino to find that. And that will give 100 Thieves a bit of respite on the map as you can see Yukino actually playing for the Krugs and the red buff of Rosethorn. So at least a little bit of a win while the Baron is up for Golden Guardians.
A little bit of a win, and you still have that side lane control, right? Sniper, or take you back to the old days of League, since we're exposing our ages throughout the rest of this broadcast. You know, I remember Darshan and his Jax and his Nasus and the side lane pushes he would do for days, even when Good Game University was behind and looking like they were going to lose. Suddenly, oh wait, there's someone at your door, there's someone at your Nexus, and it's a Jax bonking away, Sniper on said champion.
Honestly, the thing that I'm really impressed with Sniper, usually it's actually his ability to team fight and his vision through that. I think that he team fights exceptionally well on a lot of these melee champions that are lane focused. But yeah, I think we're seeing some of the individual prowess from Sniper this time around against Concept. Something that I expect to see from Sniper against some of the top laners in the league, but not all. So the fact that Sniper's shown that in his debut, real good. But I'm curious to see if he can have big impact on the team fights as I think he plays team fights way beyond his age and maturity level as a player, and that's what makes him really special for me.
Very mechanically gifted, and says he'll dominate the LCS next year. Only 2 people he's worried about, and they're already in the LCS, so confidence of Sniper is nothing that's shortcoming, at least. Now, Golden Guardians, however, they were the ones to win the last couple of fights, so trying to decide how they're going to get this momentum and keep it rolling down the road.
It honestly feels like at this point, Golden Guardians are just waiting for Silas to be able to get a Mumu ult again. And I think Light Pulse might have to play a game of hide and seek, because that really is a landscape-changing ultimate. Not just, you know, because Silas can press R and Curse Sad Mummy appears, but because of what this game's going, or how this game's going. Like, when Young has that ult, there's no way 100 Thieves can win the team fight. When not, we've seen 100 Thieves make some good decisions and good calls. So, curious to see what happens.
Be watching right now. We need a proximity meter of how far away that Light Pulse is from Young at any given time. We need to just have that stat on handy, or just get it for another lotto number with Sierra once we pull her in a little bit later. But just that's the big thing right there. It's that Curse of the Sad Mummy that Young's been able to utilize.
No, but like, I think that Light Pulse should like hide. Like, he needs to play hide and go seek right now. I actually think that's like the best call for 100 Thieves. Just force Young to not take that ultimate somehow.
Okay, I'm gonna be watching now. I'm gonna be watching very closely in these team fights if Light Pulse is just on the opposite side of the map, avoiding anything that's going on there. This is where, like, I wish I had a teleport support. You teleport into the fight when the fight's already started.
Summoning spellbook tech? Is that where we're going, Deserux?
That's where we're going.
We're getting a little wild out here.
Yeah, we're in the lab with Deserux this time. Screw you, Mad Magical.
I thought I escaped, but no. He'll be back Monday. I'm looking forward to that, as always. That cannon minion pulled off a pretty sick juke there on the spectate mode to get around that one. Make sure that goes down in his favor. 1 minute until Baron. You can see the control that Rosethorn is able to put down on this side of the map, but it really is going to be all about what Sniper can do on this side, as Concept has abandoned his Bork build, and it is now a double Radiant Virtue for the tanks on the top side. So putting all emphasis on sustainability in a team fight and making sure that no one can go down.
And with the focus coming out from 100 Thieves, rightfully so, you're going to need that sustainability. They've engaged on a dime every time they see Concept. But they're going to take that engage over to Viper. The top side, going to sniff one out. Young hopping right on top of the marksman. Will take him down, but here comes Sniper, and
this is awkward.
Ooh, pinched out right here. Still going forwards. Going to be Sniper. The rest of 100 Thieves looking to show up now. Yukino, got to watch out for Light Pulse right here, because Young would love to steal that away and turn that around. Don't jump in. Light Pulse still goes through. Sniper low, hops away. Unleash Power gets the kill onto Array. Big damage dealer down for Golden Guardians, but still taking the fight with Young. They'll be able to squeeze one more out and take the tower. Golden Guardians coming out ahead.
The fact that 100 Thieves were able to turn that around was huge, as Light Pulse waited for that stopwatch to expire from Array, and everyone was able to take down the Zeri. So that 1-for-1 trade in the back half, taking down Zeri there, really does save a Baron from being taken from Golden Guardians.
And it puts so much pressure onto Young, because you're saving that ultimate for so long, and Light Pulse did wait around there until it was that money bandage shot right onto Array.
Oh, yeah. It found the right person at the right time there, Desirux, as Array goes down. Baron still on the table. Again, it's really tough to take terrain back from Maokai. So I'm expecting Golden Guardians to have control over this side of the map, but we will see if 100 Thieves can at least buy enough time to get that dragon up, because having the 2 monster objectives up, that's when 100 Thieves can actually have the option to look at one, as Young has taken Curse of the Sad Mummy, and it's time to run for the hills. Head to the side lane, 100 Thieves. You do not want to deal with this. Just wait it out.
You failed hide and seek, brother. You're not supposed to hide in the river. That's the most obvious place.
Just pull it. Honestly, Golden Guardians should just pull Baron. I really feel like that's the strength that Silas has right now with his ult. Hit the wave, pull Baron. Yep, here we go. Okay.
Starting it off. All right. Array onto the Baron right now. Solo. Rosethorn over there. Concept over there. Young just holding the line for the time being. Still has that Curse of the Sad Mummy. Such a threat it is, though. It's too big of a threat. You can tell the respect that 100 Thieves are paying.
So well.
Ooh, missile doesn't land onto Young. Young just holding the line. Going on to Light Pulse. Light Pulse isolated down. A support 100 Thieves will be.
That angle from Young was so good. 100 Thieves know they cannot walk through Silas with his ultimate, so they take the freebie from Light Pulse, and they just get to move on, as Young still hiding in fog, trying to have a good angle for this Amumu ult.
5k health and reigns on the Baron. Yukino might be going for the steal instead. Young's getting closer. The Curse of the Sad Mummy's there. It lands onto nothing. It lands onto nothing. Baron still secured by Golden Guardians, but down goes Young, and the counter-offensive engaged by 100 Thieves. Going forward. Killer Instinct going to be used by Viper. Goes onto the back line looking to try and take down Array, but Array is going to survive. Scout of the week coming in a little bit too late. Array will still get dropped. Sniper 1 versus 3. Counter-strike goes down, but there's not a chance in the world when the numbers are against you. Golden Guardians get Baron, and they'll take down 100 Thieves.
The ult doesn't connect from Young, but it served its purpose, as Golden Guardians are able to secure that Baron, and no one can get to Array on the back half. It was a respectful attempt with a Killer Instinct, but there was no follow-up, as Pretty was too far away because of how Young was zoning him. As here's Young. That angle to wait in this brush with the Amumu ult, this is just textbook League of Legends. Really well played by Young. They get the freebie, and he holds on to that ultimate. Now, Young is trying to zone away Pretty. We have an interesting game of cat and mouse, where it's first, we need to run away from this Amumu ult, but also we need to take down Tom and Jerry in the back half as well to find Array. So they at least are able to get Young for free while the Baron falls. But now Sniper and Pretty were not able to follow up on this play onto Array, because Array flashes over. Rosethorn actually kept Pretty busy, so we couldn't follow up the CDs onto Array. I gotta say, that's a pretty nice play from Rosethorn, because I really think that's the only way they can win a fight on the side of 100 Thieves, syncing up Syndra with the stuns that are around Syndra. So by Rosethorn sacrificing himself there, just flashing over, taking on Syndra, he actually saves Array.
And it's not even about Young missing that ultimate. It's about what he did holding on to that ultimate. It resulted in a kill into Light Pulse. It zoned out 100 Thieves for so long. And now big plays to be made by Golden Guardians. They're going to look to cash in.
They got that third Infernal Dragon too, which puts them on soul point, but also the bonus damage for everyone on that team does feel good. As 100 Thieves, when you are going up against a Baron, it's really tough to push. We can have concept grouped at the moment. I think Jax needs to be in the side, but that does mean that 100 Thieves are just going to lose things across the map.
I'm trying to
And we have
spread them thin. I mean, it's working. It's working. You got the recall out of Sniper and just dancing around between these two lanes, mid and bottom. First turret already under attack. The siege is working. Able to crack the brick will be Golden Guardians, and Young is just threatening Cubby.
Yeah, nothing they can do. They just have to try and wait it out. I think that's the one window where they can actually make a play. Is Yukino getting feisty, but not enough. Array still continues to rip down these towers. Oh,
Curse of Sad Mummy goes out, but Young didn't get too much out of that. Now 100 Thieves have an opportunity using those hourglasses. Yukino in the middle, able to slide away, still getting the damage through. Array's bringing it though, going after Viper, will not be able to slay the Viper, will go after the inhibitor instead, taking that down. Golden Guardians almost slipping up there, but still coming out ahead.
Nah, 2 for 2's okay as long as Array lives and keeps that GA. As Pretty was pumping out some pretty decent damage against Array, but again, as long as Array is alive, 100 Thieves cannot win. They were able to sync up some cooldowns as that Curse of the Sad Mummy wasn't huge, but they are at a deficit, just not enough. And Array with this Yuumi now, I mean, they've scaled and he's staying safe.
Scaled up indeed, working well, positioning in these team fights and getting that DPS in. I mean, that is 4 items completed on top of a Quicksilver Sash for Array. And you got a Yuumi attached to you, so everything is just smooth sailing right now for the bot lane of Golden Guardians. Second chance of Array's looking good.
And again, for Array, we've been building him up as, hey, he's a really good team fight positioner. We want to see more moments from Array where he has that killer instinct, is able to, be aggressive and step up at the right times in the team fight too. He's under a lot of threat in this game, so he's got to navigate it correctly. I think his team is playing well around him. And I just want to see if Array can continue to make sure that he is staying safe, not being vulnerable to the Vi plus Syndra plus Jax combo, the one thing that can really get 100 Thieves back in this game.
So, let me toss this at you, Cubby. What if Young cannot get the Curse of the Sad Mummy? What's the next big ultimate that still gives Golden Guardians a lot of fight?
I would Vi-ult Syndra at this point, depending on if Syndra has Zhonya's or not. If Syndra does not have Zhonya's, I think that's the next best thing. She's a big problem right now, but we just have Maokai. Oh, Viper.
Viper will escape. Flash burnt, though. Gonna be down that summoner spell. Ooh, here we go. Teleport again. Looking for the fight. There is Young. He will get it. So clean it was. And Pretty and Viper can only watch a scatter the weak, but the weak will not be denied. Walking forward, Sniper put to the dirt. Young with the double kill. It's the full-blown ace in Golden Guardians. That last year completely in their rearview mirror as they start off with the tie against 100 Thieves.
And I gotta say, for Young, him slamming this Silas pick, it's a matchup that Silas's don't really love into Syndra, but his confidence to see the Amumu say, this is all we need. If I have this ultimate, there's no way that we can lose team fights with Zeri plus Yuumi. I think it was a much better identification of win cons from Golden Guardians challengers, and a much better execution. And Young, for me, he might have had the most deaths, not the best KDA, but he was the playmaker and the reason that Golden Guardians won that game.
He gave them so much team fight in a composition that had a lot of it just with the Maokai alone, but that is what Array needs to pop off, and Array just popping off in that backline thanks to Young's positioning, thanks to Young's utilization of the Curse of the Sad Mummy. It worked beautifully for Golden Guardians. Let's bring Sierra Dawn alongside us so we can bask in some of the results that we've been having so far. I mean, it's been a wild start to the season, Sierra.
I have lost so many channel points during this broadcast, it's not even funny.
Is betting on the favorites not paying off here?
I'm betting on whoever is just absolutely demolishing game 1, and then they're not demolishing in game 2, and I just...
Welcome to Challengers, baby. That's what we've got.
Man, I will say, though, that was a really fun game to watch. I mean, anytime I saw Young just to, and get ready is like, oh no, there is some shenanigans about to happen. This is about to go crazy.
It felt like an extended game of hide and seek, as Cubby was saying. Can Light Pulse stay away from Young? Can Light Pulse deny that Curse of the Sad Mummy?
Like, kind of feels bad, too, when a game of League of Legends kind of devolves into a game of hide and seek, Covey. I mean, this was a team, too, that was running the game, running the Rift in game 1, and then just watch them have to scatter in game 2 here.
I think it was good identification, though, from Golden Guardians. Because, like, what was the first thing that went wrong in game one? Game 1. Sniper, 3-wave dive onto Renekton. Concept was out of the game. Concept had a lead before he was out of the game later, but it was a much more stable topside for Golden Guardians. And then what's next? Hey, we didn't get Zera Yumi ahead. Array was snowballed. He was hand-fed the first 2 turrets from good map rotations from Golden Guardians. And after that, that's when Young just kind of took over as the playmaker, said, I'm going to take this ult, make space for Array, make life as easy as possible for you. And Array ran with that really well. But Young, for me, was the playmaker, played very well in that game.
Yeah, even the play around the Baron, just like a hiding in the bushes. I mean, it was just, it was really well done. And I'm excited to see that we are getting these 1-1 series in, because it really shows that there could be a lot of fun to be had in Challengers this year. Yeah, sure, they kind of got stomped a little bit game 1, but then to see that huge difference, Deserex, I mean, that's just promising.
It is oh so promising because, again, it's the next generation of talent. We've had so many call-ups. We have our expectations coming in, and when I'm wrong, when I'm thinking it's a 2-0 Team Liquid, 2-0 100 Thieves, and I'm wrong, that means my expectations have been surpassed to a whole different level, and it is great stuff.
I was not surprised by the 1-1. I was surprised at how well Young played in game 2. That was a pleasant surprise, so good to see.
See, if you asked me beginning of the day, 1-1, I would have been okay. After the first game, would have been no way. But, you know, hey, there's surprises all around the corner, and I love it. Just around the corner as well is going to be our interview, but we're going to take a quick break first. So, on the other side of that. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our interview. I'm going to be sitting down with Prismal to talk about that series. We got to see a 1-1 series earlier on in the day, and after the first game that you played against them, I didn't quite think this was the result we were going to have. What happened in that first game?
I mean, honestly, the first game was pretty rough from our end. We didn't expect to get smashed as hard as we did. I think just early game went really poorly, and it was really hard for us to recover with the champs we were playing. And then Jax was just unkillable and hard for us to deal with, but when we went into game 2, we knew that if we just stuck to what we know and like what we've been practicing, then it would go a lot smoother, and we're happy that we won the next game.
Let's go, because that was such a big difference too. I mean, you definitely gave them a run for their money and then some, and then seeing even just Young popping off. I mean, you said you went back to what you knew. What have you been working on to make sure that these are games that you can be pulling out and winning?
I mean, I would say, you know, without getting into too much, we've just been practicing all the strong meta picks right now and talking about early like objective setups, how we want to fight, how we want to play different situations. And I think right now, early in the season, everyone is pretty rough when it comes to team play, but us all being on the same page is what every team really works on. And I think a really good example of that, like coming together in the game 2, is when Young had that Silas flank on them in top lane. I want to take credit for calling that play, but he obviously played it perfectly, but stuff like that is what really makes a team good, and that's what we're focused on.
Love to hear it. And then going into this split of challengers as well for Golden Guardians, I mean, we've got to see a couple of different looks in the past for Golden Guardians, but it kind of looks like this season it's kind of set up that you all can kind of pop off and have your moment. Talk to me about the roster and the teamwork and just how you're feeling going on ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to be playing on this roster as support because I've played with Rosethorn a lot in my past. When I was an AD carry main, we've been on a team together for a while, and Concept is like a really stable top lane, and Young is a really new mid laner that is honestly really good. He's really mechanically skilled. He's really eager to learn. He's playing really well and working really hard. So for me, I feel like really lucky to be able to play with a bunch of rookies that are really good, and also a jungler that I'm used to playing with, so I can become more of like a shot caller and a leader that I've been looking to become this last, I don't know, year or so of playing AD carry. And I feel like with this roster we can do really well, and I'm just excited to see how we'll do, obviously, in NACL.
Awesome, and hopefully we'll be able to see you on a couple different champions. I know before the interview we were talking about the Yuumi duty being a little, not the greatest time, not the most fun.
Dude, please, Riot, remove this champion. I picked Yuumi, 2 games, I played 2 games of Yuumi. You know what I was doing? My hands were like this. I was like, all right, guys, this is what they're going to do. Oh, we can do this next. Like, I'm just not having any fun. I'm literally just S-keyed on my AD carry. Please remove this champ. Thank you.
Hey, it's at least a selfless dedication to your team and your ADC then, right? But yeah,
I'll do it for the team. Yeah, for sure.
The team, that's awesome. And then you do that for the team, but then for yourself going on into Challengers this year, what are you wanting to get out of the split?
I want our team to be the best and to win the league. I think our team definitely can be, and for myself, I see myself as an LCS caliber player, and I think there's a lot of things that I need to work on, but I think if everything comes together, then hopefully we can be the best team.
All right, there is a lot of really great talent in Challengers right now, so that's definitely, you have your work cut out for you. Is there a certain team that you think is going to give you the most run for your money at this point?
I think C9's team is pretty strong. They're probably up there. And then this team, when they have their full roster, the one we just played against, 100 Thieves could also be up there as well.
When Unforgiven and Destiny join on the team, that'll definitely be scary. But if you're sticking to your guns and what you know, then I'm definitely excited to see going on forward. Now, thank you so much for talking to me. But before I let you go, if you have any last words or any shoutouts, I'll give you the stage.
I told a lot of my friends to watch the match today, and I picked Yuumi. I'm so sorry. It was really boring. I'll try to be on more fun champs next time, and thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks to my teammates for trying hard, and goodbye.
Thank you so much, Prismal. Have a good rest of your day. For us, we're going to take a quick break before we get on with the last series of the day.